What's up, delivery fam? Okay, I'm testing out a new system here. All right, I'm testing out a new system, and I want to get some feedback from y'all as well. Is this okay? Is the sound okay? Before we even dive into tonight's topic, all right, I want to know what's up, delivery driver. What's up, Nico? What's good? What's good? What's up, DoorDash Red? Can I get a thumbs up emoji if it's good? I'm testing out a new system here, and I want to have this discussion. All right, it's crisp. What's up? What's up? What's up? So it's crisp. It's good. All good. Okay. All right. Okay. Ballin' new system. Nah, gig hustler. I'm just trying to get rid of the old system. The old system was having so many difficulties, and I was paying more than I'm paying now, and it's a bit surprising. All right, so tonight I just wanted to have a brief conversation about shared tips. Just like it says in the thumbnail here. All right, shared tips, pros and cons. Let's discuss. It's really a discussion I wanted to have with those that are willing to have a civilized discussion about it. All right. Now, this is I'm also testing out this new system so I could see if this is going to be something I want to keep or not. All right. So this is StreamYard. This is what everyone else uses, and I have been late to the party. All right. I want you guys to call in, and I wanna also, maybe I could get a few of you on the screen if you wish to discuss. Okay, if you don't want to be on the screen, you can call in. The number's at the bottom of the screen right now on the ticker. Lines are open. Call now. All right, 754-399-3941. The thing is, shared tips, pros and cons. All right, now a lot of videos have been pumped out by me, and it's the catering app delivered that. But I understand how some would feel about sharing tips. But I want to say over the years, the discussion about tips have become so much of a thing where it trickled over to TikTok, and it turned into almost like, a movement. And by all means, we work for tips, right? We work for tips. And this hold on. All right, so right now I'm trying to get used to the system. What's up, Frank Owens? Let's see here. What's up, Charlene? What's up, Adrian? What's up, Garrett or Jared? Okay. All right, I don't want to take too long. I don't take much longer to get into this, but the thing is, tipping, we work for tips. We want to make sure that, the orders that we accept, we work for those tips, right? We would love to get 100% of them, right? when it comes to the restaurant staff, a lot of customers treat us as restaurant staff. They don't understand that we have our own expenses. We have to pay for our gas. We have to pay for maintenance on our vehicles. We have to pay our own taxes. All these different things that come up, right? That customers don't really consider because they don't understand that level of what we do, being an independent contractor, right? At least that's how the platforms, that's how they classify us. So I've been getting a lot of I'll call it feedback as to why shared tips or the tip pool is not something that makes anything enticing, because everyone wants 100% of the tip on the order. So I wanted to know from you guys' perspective, if you're willing to call in, or even if you're willing to be on the screen with me. I gotta share this invite link, huh? How about that? Let me copy this link and let's paste that in the chat, as in case anyone wants to join me on screen to have this discussion. Um, and with the times that we're in, it's been tougher to make the money. We've had many discussions on this channel, and with the with inflation being what it is, it's definitely been very interesting to see how much more money you're willing to go out there and make. Not everyone wants to make. Not everyone wants to do certain apps. Like, for instance, some people don't even want to go shopping, when a shopping app could be a very lucrative app to be working right now. But some people don't want to do that. Let's see here. UDM, which companies are you going to be doing are are going to be doing a shared tip? Let me see if I can put this on the screen. Yes, I can. Charlene Edwards asks which companies are going to be doing a shared tip. The thing is, Deliver that has a tip pool, but I realized that some people don't like the tip pool. Now, I wanted to have this discussion if anyone was willing to have this discussion with me on screen or on the phone. Why are drivers against the tip pool? It's almost like the same question as why are drivers against tipping a restaurant staff that might prepare their order, large, small, doesn't matter. Now, I know the argument is, and probably has always been, uh, they don't pay for gas, they don't pay for all the expenses that I pay for, so why must I tip them? Now, on the other side, some will argue and say, well, I tip them to get better service than the other competition in my market, the other drivers, right? So some will say tip to get better service, you get in and out of there, right? And some will say, I'm not tipping them because they don't have the expenses that I have. But what about shared tips? Shared tips, the pros is you're guaranteed a tip no matter what, right? And the cons is you're not getting 100% of the tip on the order. Shared tips have been around for a while, a long time, or sharing of tips has been around for a long time. But in the gig space, we're so accustomed to getting whatever our tip is, whether it's 1 cent or $100 or 150, right? We're so used to that when the topic of shared tips comes to, the conversation, drivers don't want to share tips. Now, it just depends on, how you look at it. I feel in these times with the everything going up, right? I feel like I need to drive less and make more per mile, right? That means I'm burning less gas and I'm making more money. That's how I see it. So if I hear I have to share my tips with another driver, if it's going to allow me to drive less, but I'm making more on the order and I'm making more per hour, or even per mile, I'm willing to bend my rule of the tip, not wanting to share my tip. Now, I've been one of those drivers too that have said, I'm not, no, why would I share a tip? I don't want to share my tips, right? They don't have the expenses that I have. Why am I sharing the tips? But on the flip side, when things happen, my perception changed. My perception changed of the whole thing. Like, yes, I would love to get 100% of all my tips on whatever orders that I do, but I wanted to hear from y'all, right? If it's possible to hear from y'all, I would love to hear it from y'all. Okay. There's not many people that are willing to have this real conversation with me, but I would appreciate it if someone have this conversation with me, at least someone that could help me see things from why you do not want to share your tips. Now, I understand the very surface level of everything, but even with the times that we're in, with how expensive everything is nowadays, why wouldn't you want to share your tips? Let's go to the chat. All right. So Nico says, when I used to work at one of my first jobs, tips were pulled and divided up at the end of the shift. Right. Then Nico also says, only time I've ever had to share tips. Okay. That's the only time you've ever had to share tips. So the question though is, why wouldn't you want to share tips? Like, what's wrong with sharing tips? That's what I really want to know. I want to know what's wrong with it. I've seen I've seen videos. I've seen countless videos of people not wanting to share their tips, but I want to know, I want to hear it from y'all. Like, in those videos, they didn't really explain why they don't want to share tips. They just don't want to share tips. Even in these times now, they just don't want to share tips. Delivery. All right, let's see here. Delivery driver says, I would share my tips with Nico, only Nico. Okay, all right. Let's see. Charlene says, I comes from a place where there's enough in the universe for everyone. So I don't think it would be a problem as long as we all get something for equal work. It's unfair if one does bulk of work. Okay. See, and that's something I can understand, right? If one person is doing majority of the work, right? And I still have to split all of my tips with everyone else, then that feels totally unfair. But we call this a driver community. Yes, we're in different markets, right? Yes, we in some kind of way we look out for each other. We provide news, we help each other, right? If we're looking for certain answers, we're looking for certain apps, we're looking for certain things, we help out each other, right? No matter, sometimes I might not share the name of an app, but I tell you how to find the app. It's still helping, right? So if if we're willing to help each other in that manner, what's wrong with sharing the tips? What's wrong with that? Okay, so if you do an order and it has zero tip, this has gone on for too long, to be honest, online, where if it's zero tip, the person is just going to be like, oh, it had zero tip on it. Oh, man, that sucked, man. Oh, whatever. There's that type of driver, right? That would get upset about a zero tip or a 1 cent tip. We've said many times, oh, that's a slap in the face. If you leave me 1 cent, you're better off leaving me zero, right? But at the same time, we wouldn't want a zero tip. We work for tips. All right. Now, on the other side, a driver like myself and many others would say, you know what? I take whatever the order is at face value. if it says $10 going 2 miles, I don't worry about if it got a tip or not. So tipping is important, right? If we're not going to make the money that we make if we don't get tips. But what if you deliver an order that has 0 tip and you put forth enough work and you end up with 0 tip? That would feel like my $3,000 DoorDash alcohol delivery. That $3,000 order, I received $42, I believe, on it. Now, I say I deserve more than $42 because of the work that I put forth when I arrived, and my vehicle was damaged after the fact. I needed to replace my shocks after that delivery. It was too much for my car at the time. And I had to lift those 21 cases, which were not light, and I had to travel the distance from the bottom of his driveway to where he wanted me to put them. That was some work. That was some manual labor. And in my opinion, I deserve no less than $100 for that because of the work that I put forth. But if all I had to do was something very minor, right? I just say in these times, leave it at the door. Okay, I get your order, I bring it to your door, I leave it, I take a picture, I do everything you want me to. Then why wouldn't I want to share the tip that I made on that with someone else? If that was tip pooling, if that type of delivery had tip pooling involved, right? I might be saying things wrong, but if you look at the bottom of the screen, I really want somebody to call in. I want to discuss this. I'm not trying to just have my opinion out there, right? And I'm gonna put some more of the people that's commenting in the chat on the screen. All right. But if anyone wants to come on, please join. I'm testing this out too. Okay. It's a StreamYard stream. If you're not busy. Okay. Let's see here. Let's remove that comment. All right, let's go here. What's up, the Driven Dad? All right, so Nico says some people don't provide the same level of service as you, and at times take advantage of your hard work. That's true. That's true. Not all waiters and waitresses have the same, or not all of them are personable. Some of them are just like, hi. Some of them are like they just had a bad day and they, you know, they just take it out on you. And I say waiters and waitresses because for whether we like it or not, that is what people see us as. All right. We're equivalent to waiters and waitresses. Even if we drive our own vehicles, we pay our own taxes, we do all the maintenance on our vehicles. Excuse me. Even if all that goes on, we still are compared or put in the same category as waiters and waitresses. No matter how much we try to fight it. I'm not saying for you to accept it. You know what your position is. But it doesn't mean that someone is not going to still categorize you as a waiter on wheels or a waitress on wheels. It's going to happen regardless. All right. So let's see here. Oh, I already read that. Let me see. Neil says, what's up, Neil? Only thing that's wrong is the top dashers taking $2 orders and then we share our tips with them. Other than that, I think it should be something that we experiment with. Okay. All right. Let me ask y'all this. All right. This is a serious question. This question. Oh, we have a call. But before we take the call, my apologies, caller. Just hold on one second. All right. Let's look at it from a different perspective. Say there was a team of drivers, your team of drivers, right? Your team. You have a delivery business, right? Your team of drivers, you want them to be happy, right? Now, let's say your top 3 drivers are working a certain area that is more prone to tip, right? And another 3 drivers are working an area that don't get tips at all. Okay. But they're knocking out all these orders for you. Obviously, the first 3 drivers that are in the really good area, they're going to be extremely happy because they're getting all those tips, right? Then the other 3 drivers, they're not getting anything, and the pay feels like it's terrible. When those 3 meet these 3 and they huddle up and they're talking about the money made for the day, somebody's going to get in their feelings because, man, I made 500 a day. Oh, man, I only made 150. Someone is going to get in their feelings. So this is your team. How do you rectify that issue? Let's take this call here. Thank you for calling another UDM stream. Who are we speaking to? Hello, hello.
Oh, I had it on mute. I said, what's up with your boy Big Hustle? Sorry about that.
What's up, man? Talk to me.
I thought it picked right up. That's why I muted it. I was like, uh-oh, they can hear all the background.
Okay.
What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Just talk to me, man. Just tell me what's good or what's bad about tip pooling. Is it good? Do you feel like it's a good thing? Do you feel like it's a bad thing? And why?
You know, we touched on it a little bit before. Like I'm a strong person for the tip pool as far as outside of thinking outside of myself. And I mean, if you and people in the Discord, you people in Discord or the D fam will know that, you know, I get high tips.
Right.
But as a person who gets those high tips, I'm actually would sacrifice the high tips a lot of times. I'm not really doing much work to get it. I'm appreciative. Thank you, customers. Any customers there, thank y'all. I love it. Right. But, you know, I do feel like splitting it would be more efficient. It would keep more work around for everybody. It'll help the non-tipping order. I've been trying to turn stick calls for the longest. I'm go mute.
I can't listen.
I think it'll help everybody overall.
I can't help but smile because I'm hearing that you're working, you know, and work to me is always gonna put a smile on my face, man. You're trying to get your money. That's what's up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I believe that it'll help everybody all around. Like I glance at the other YouTubers channels who be in areas that's not as fortunate as mine, and like how many miles they have to drive. Like I've just seen one video like 100 miles, barely making $100. But if it was a tip pool, that 100 miles would be probably more, fishing more closer to 150 or maybe even 200 if the tips will spread it out.
Right.
So like as a non-selfish thing.
Right.
I see Uber Eats is not able to apply to filing, huh? But I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I think it'll help in areas, in low income areas and states that are not, the average income is not high. Okay. It'll help places like that. It's like I don't see, keeps efficiently, keeps everything balanced.
So let me ask you this. So you're not against tip pooling. So if you're not against tip pooling, would you prefer all tips be pooled, put in one pot, and then spread out to everyone? Or would you rather keep it as it is where you're getting, I think I know the answer to this. It's kind of like a rhetorical question at the same time, but would you prefer to get 100% of your tips because you're hustling and you're grinding it out, trying to make your money so you can go feed your family versus worrying about all the drivers around you?
I mean, I say all the drivers. Because if we keep it afloat, if everybody's able to do it, it would keep the quote unquote gig economy afloat. But if it folds on itself and like a lot of people drop off or things of that nature, it wouldn't be able to sustain. Like we make this system. If we're not able to survive, it's going to implode on itself one way or another. But if we all share it, like me as a husband, hey, of course I would take a hit. Not no ifs, ands, or buts. If I had to share, I would take a hit. So this is very non-selfish of me. I know it'd be like $100-some hit a weekly, at least at the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
But not being selfish, yeah, I think it would help everybody overall. Why not? Why Why only care about myself? Each one teach one. Like, hey,
So
we all got out here to make money, and I feel like it is plenty of money for everybody to make. So my little extra dollars, my $10 that I'm getting $10 extra than you not getting. Why not split that up? I'll still be making my minimum, I believe.
do you feel that could solve, like, let's look at DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, right? All the issues that we've faced. Like, say people will say, "Oh, your market is different than mine. You don't have to drive the miles that I drive, so it's more lucrative in your area than it is in mine." Do you feel like that could, like, say, a tip pool situation? And again, family, this is just a conversation, okay? Um, so if do you feel like the tip pooling could pretty much make it easier for everyone across the board, like across the nation? If all of us, let's say all of us did DoorDash, right? Some people taking $2 orders that's going 16 miles, and some people taking $2 orders that's going 0.5 miles, right? I'm using the $2 order for a reason, right? The $2 order that's going 0.5 miles is definitely way better than $2 going 16 miles. So let me ask you, let me just change that number really quick. Let's make it $10, right? $10 going 20 miles, and then $10 going 5 miles, right? Obviously, there might be a $7 tip, right? One might have no tip, and one might have a $7 tip, right? So, all in all, the question that I'm asking is, would it make it better for everyone if that $7 tip was pooled, and that $10 going 20 miles, because of that $7 tip being pulled, there's an average of $7 more on top of that $10, right? So that $10 turns into 17 for 20 miles. And your $10 that was going 5 miles turns into 17 because it's now an average for everyone. Do you feel like that would make things better for all drivers across the nation on DoorDash?
Yep. Personally, I mean, because we experienced that. It wasn't a problem years ago when everybody wasn't getting under XYZ. Now it is. You didn't hear about $2 order.
Yeah.
I took a $2 order. They didn't tip me, or the $3. Well, I can't speak for Uber Eats because I haven't done that a long time. So I don't know how it was years ago. I heard it was better than what it is now.
Yeah.
But like, you wouldn't hear stories like that. But people, selfishness is unfortunately the society we live in. Everybody's for themselves, but that's not going to help everybody.
Okay.
You have to share. That's the only way. I think that is the best way.
Okay. The last
money,
question I have for you, then I'm gonna let you get those pings, man. The last question I have for you. So, if you were to have a driver team, including yourself, of 10 drivers, right? A driver team. Now, like I mentioned earlier, 5. Well, I'll split it up in half. 5 goes to a lucrative high tipping area, and 5 go to a non-tipping area. At the end of the day, the ones that received the non-tips made 150. The ones that received tips made about, let's just say, 500. Right? I know those numbers are a bit high or a bit low, but let's just say that. Would you feel that? Would you pool the tips? Would you put all of them in one pot and then spread them out evenly to all 10, including yourself? Or would you say, nah, the 5 over here that made that 500, let them stay happy, and then the 5 over here that got the minimum or the 150, let them stay where they are? If you had a driver team, what would you do?
I mean, if I was in control of it, because I mean, if you let that 500 get into the driver's hands, you may have a problem getting it out of their hands. But
True,
if my company, I'm guessing you're saying, if I was running that company beforehand, would it have been a tip pool or not? That's what you really say?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's the way I'm seeing the question. Yeah, definitely. To me personally, I think it'd be better to keep all the drivers pleased. Like maybe a minimum of, okay, let me take 10% of it. Okay, y'all got 100. Let's take 10% of that, so everybody be decent. So the time you don't get $100, you still getting decent tips. Like maybe not the whole tip pool, but 10, 20% or something.
Okay.
You know, something like that. Maybe that'll be like a form of a, you know, a resolution. And you're still getting double-digit money plus what you're, you know, plus your minimum of what you're supposed to get. And we taking this, put this in the pool, 20%, like a 20% or 100. So you get 80, we give 20, and we're gonna split this 20 of your dollars against them, so they'll be cool too.
Yeah.
So if it happens to you, you will be cool on the flip side.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe a reasonable person cool with that, but hey,
okay.
You know,
All right.
everybody's not reasonable.
All right. Well, I appreciate you you being the first caller in. Now you got a list of drivers calling in after you. I appreciate you getting that call in going on.
They finna cuss me out. They bad at me. I'm going.
All right, bro. Thank you for your contribution.
All right, Lick.
All right. Let's take the next call here. All right. Let's take the next call. Thank you for calling another UDM stream. Let's discuss. Who are we speaking to?
Hello, UDM.
Yep. How you doing, brother?
Hello. Doing good, man. Doing good. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Just want to discuss like shared tips, the pros and cons from your perspective.
I'm totally against it, man. Totally against it.
Totally against shared tips. Okay.
Yep. Yes.
Sorry,
Sorry, man. My kids in the back.
I know.
Yeah, listen. Well, the reason why I'm against it, man, is that pretty much we're running a business here. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I understand your point of view, but there's a difference between the restaurant business and the delivery business.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is we're doing all the work individually.
You got a lot of echo. You got a lot of echo. I'm trying to understand you.
Yes. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, I get it, mommy. I get it.
Okay.
So basically,
mm-hmm.
in the restaurant game, you got a whole staff that's helping you out with every order, with every customer, right?
Right.
So your porter, your dresser, they help you out. So that's why they get a share of your tip. So we as drivers, we do everything on our own. So we deserve every single tip that we get.
Well, can I say something there where?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you said that we do everything on our own, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you, and this is just a question. All right. So the restaurant staff would not deserve a portion of your tip.
Yes, they would, because they help me out with the customers.
Okay, so the restaurant staff would deserve a portion of your tip because they helped you out with preparing the meal so you could pick it up and drop it off.
Yes, and you got people who help you clean the tables, fix up the tables, things like that.
I'm not talking about as another waiter and that works in a restaurant. I'm talking about as a driver that's going to a restaurant to pick it up.
Oh, with the restaurant people?
Yeah.
Well, no, because I'm doing a specific job. That's what I'm getting paid for. It's for me, not for restaurant staff at the restaurant.
Now, I was only asking because of how you said it, where they're helping each other in the restaurant. So the restaurant staff is bagging the food and helping the driver get this order to the customer on time.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully on time. Let's just say hopefully on time. So in a sense, the way I'm looking at it is like, it's almost like the restaurant staff, whether we want to accept it or not, is helping us make our money too. So it's like, I understand your logic. I do. And I'm not, this is just a discussion, right? I don't want to change your mind. It's just more of the understanding from your perspective about the helping part. Since we're not being helped, we have to pay for our gas. We have to deal with the dogs. We have to deal with going up the stairs, carrying all the load, going to wherever they are. That's why we hate apartments, right? We have to deal with all of that.
I got you.
then I completely 100% understand, right? We're doing all of that, so we deserve 100%. But in the cases where it's not that all the time, would you be willing to share your tips?
With who, the other drivers or people in the restaurant? Yeah.
Well, this is just about sharing tips. I don't want to say
Okay.
share it with drivers. I don't want to say share it with the staff. I'm just more like the topic of sharing tips. Obviously, I know we
Okay.
all want 100%. We all want 100%. Just like I remember having a conversation with a takeout employee. The takeout employee was salty about Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub, DoorDash drivers because they made majority of their money from tips. But if majority of the orders that are being picked up are takeout apps, like say DoorDash and all that, then they're not making anything but their minimum wage or whatever that the restaurant offered them. So the guy, he was salty about the app's existence. So so in his mind, we're taking tips away from him. But I'm just going based off of what I've heard you say. So just to get a better understanding. So what go ahead. I want to give you the floor.
Well, what I'm saying is when it comes to something like, deliver that, where you have to share your commission, your tips with the other drivers, like it's a share pool or whatever, I don't agree with that at all.
You don't agree with that at all?
Because
okay, go ahead.
No. Well, when you look at it, you're individually doing all the hard work. You're the one doing all the expenses. You have to spend all your money on expenses, and you get paid for that. And that's what they tip for.
Okay.
For you specifically doing your task.
All right. So
I don't think any other driver should get a cut of that.
Okay. So so since we're talking about drivers, since you have to do all of it, it should not be shared. But if it were split up between two drivers, all right, let me ask you that. What if this order, let's just say this order is $1,500. $1,500 worth of tacos. Okay, let's just say tacos because you get you got a lot of tacos for $1,500. Okay, so $1,500 worth of tacos, but your vehicle cannot hold all of it. Right?
Yeah.
What would you do then? Would you split it with another driver that's coming to help you? Or you would say, okay, so as long as the driver has something to do with the pickup and drop off of the order that you're doing, then you're willing to split or share the tip with that driver. But if the driver has nothing to do with the order that you just picked up and you got to go drop it off and you got to go set it up and you got to do all this, if they got nothing to do with that, then they don't deserve any portion of your tip.
Exactly.
Okay. I understand that.
So, actually, why do you think that they should get? Why do you think they should? Nobody to help you out.
Okay, I'm coming from the angle of everybody should get a slice of the pie. The reason why is because over the 5 years that I've been doing this, I've heard time and time again drivers in one market complain about it's too slow, or I got to go back to a W-2. And drivers in a more lucrative market, they're saying, oh man, it's awesome over here, right? And then when the drivers that say it's awesome share it with the drivers that don't feel like it's awesome at all, then it causes some friction. I've seen this happen so many times because it turned into online. It turned into many different conversations like, oh, you can't make $1,000 in a week. You definitely can if you're in the right market. But that's the thing. Like a wave of drivers felt like, nah, you're lying. Even if that's your market. It turned into like a battle between drivers in smaller markets and drivers in larger markets. And they were like, the larger markets are saying, yeah, you can. And the smaller markets are saying, no, you can't. So it turned into drivers going at each other because of the content that they were spewing out, but they are just speaking their truth, right? They're telling people how it is in their market, right? So I feel like to avoid the conflict amongst drivers when everyone is just doing it for the same reasons, right? We got bills to pay, we got families to take care of. To me, if everyone got a slice of the pie, nobody's fighting each other. Nobody's have a reason to go at each other because everyone is getting a piece of it. I've delivered non-tip orders. I've delivered low 1 cent tip orders. I've delivered those. Now, how did I feel about it? I was like, oh, hell no. But at the same time, what if I got something for it anyway? Even if it was a 1 cent, even if it was a 0 tip, what if I got something for it anyway? That's the angle I'm coming from. It's like, yes, I understand. If you ain't do the work, you don't deserve none of my money. I 100% get that. You're not gonna stand to the side and watch me. You just gonna be sipping your Kool-Aid, right? In your nice little styrofoam cup. And then I'm over here busting my tail, getting and moving all the stuff, and you just supervisor. What you doing? You got to get in on this too. When the payment come, you ain't getting jack. I completely 100% accept that, right? I understand it 100%. But with the way that things are now, with drivers across the nation, I feel everyone should get a slice of the pie with how it is now. A few years ago, that's not how I thought. I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you that's not how I thought a few years ago. Pre-pandemic, heck nah, you ain't getting a slice of nothing. This is all me, 100. But the amount of drivers that I've spoken to, I think that's where I got soft. I'll just be honest and say I got soft because the drivers that have called me or that have spoken to me and damn near telling me like they don't know how they're gonna pay their rent. They're hustling, they're getting it, but their car is about to break down. How can I help that driver without actually helping that driver? Meaning like financially. I'm not gonna pay your rent for you because you're telling me that your rent is due and you can't pay it. How can I help a driver like that? I feel for him. I feel for her. But how can I help? The only thing that I can do is I can say, you know what? I got 10 orders, take 5 of them, and I'm going to take the other 5. And whatever money that we made, we're going to split it up. That's it. That's the only way that I can help. I can't help no other way. That's where my mind went. That's all.
Yeah, I understand your viewpoint, but let's be realistic here. We're running a business here, not a charity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's not my responsibility as an independent driver to worry about everybody else.
True.
It's really the executives at DoorDash, Uber Eats, and all that stuff to figure out how to make sure that every driver gets paid decently.
True.
And that's what they're getting paid millions of dollars for,
I can't argue with that.
So for us to be like, oh, we have to sacrifice so the executives can get their millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
How about they sacrifice some of their millions and spread that out to some of the drivers? Well, no, we get every driver gets a little crumb of the pie. Every driver.
Right.
So it's not our responsibility. That's what these executives are getting paid big money for, to figure that out.
Right.
So it's not your responsibility, UDM. It's the executive's responsibility.
You're
right. Running a business.
You're
to support
right.
your family.
You are 100% right.
So this tip sharing thing, it sounds nice, but the reality is not our responsibility to take care of the driver.
So
it's for the executives to figure that out.
Okay, before I let you go, because I do have 2 other callers in the queue. Before I let you go, now I got to ask you this. So whatever tip is on that order is 100% yours. And it should only go.
Somebody's helping me.
So let's just say deliver that. Would you prefer whatever, if the tip is 500 or if the tip is 0, whatever that tip is 100% yours. If no matter how much work you put in, no matter what, would you be okay with whatever the tip is?
Sure. But let me ask you something, UDM. Why do you think they're doing tip sharing? it's to their advantage, like deliver that. It's to get out the non-tip orders. That's why they want to do tip sharing. It's not for our benefit. It's for the company's benefit.
Well, let me put something in perspective for you, right? When I first got on DoorDash, a lot of Dashers avoided easy cater orders. Do you know why?
No.
They had no tip on them.
Okay. I understand that. I agree with them then. Don't take no tip. Don't take no orders with no tip.
So listen, I'm not saying I don't know the numbers when it comes down to deliver that.
Yeah.
I don't know the numbers, how many of their orders have tips, how many of their orders don't have tips. I could only go based on what they say, right? And it's not a conversation I've had with them. But what I'm saying is a lot of drivers on DoorDash, not even deliver that, over the years, they avoided taking easy cater orders on DoorDash because they never had a tip, including the ones that were the charity orders. You know, the ones like I think Safeway, I believe. Like there's different ones where they pay you a certain amount up front to go feed the homeless or go feed the less fortunate, right? So those would not have anything. The total will not be higher. So it's just the same thing as the Macy's orders, the retail orders, right? What you see is what you get. And a lot of drivers complain about easy cater. Don't take easy cater, man, because easy cater orders, they don't have the above the guarantee. So if it's like that on DoorDash, and it's been that way for years on DoorDash, what makes it different with Deliver That? I don't know for a fact. Let me take that back. I don't know for a fact what have a tip, what don't have a tip. But what I do know is drivers or dashers from my past that I've spoken to told me to avoid easy cater orders because they don't have tips on them. Now, I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, so when the tip pool, when you said your question was, why do I feel like why do you feel like they're doing this? They're doing it for their benefit, right? And I'm like, well, if these larger orders, catering orders, don't have tips on them, and some have tips on them, I think that they found a way to make drivers happy across the board, as happy as they can be, as happy as they can make them across the board, versus just saying, hey, you know, this percentage over here don't have tips and y'all just stuck. The ones that got the tips, then hey, you know, awesome. That's why I feel like that.
You know, that's not why they do it. You know, that's not why they do it. They do it because
I'm saying,
they don't want to show you the tips because they know that you're not going to deliver the ones with no tips. That's the only reason why they're doing tip sharing. You know that too.
I mean, I can only assume that. I can only assume that. And
let's be real. We know that. We know that.
No, I can't say that I know something I don't know. It's just the same thing as. Hold on. Let me just get this out, right? Just the same thing as, that restaurant be taking my tips off my order. I don't know. Some customers lie. Some customers say, I left you a tip on there. Unless they show me the receipt that shows that they left the tip as proof and I did not get that tip, then I don't have any proof. The same thing with Deliver That. I don't know what they're doing. All I know is they're spreading out the tips amongst all the platforms. Now, I do feel companies will do what they feel they need to, but I don't know. I have no proof. I have nothing. I know with DoorDash, with the old pay model, if the customer tip high, DoorDash would pay $1. If the customer didn't tip at all, DoorDash would come out of pocket more. That was proof in after the order was completed. But I don't have any proof that this is what they're doing with tipping. I have none.
You know? Let's just say it's highly likely that's what they're doing.
I'm sorry? Say that again?
Let's just say that it's highly likely that's why they're doing that. Highly likely.
Again, that's your
It's not
opinion.
to your benefit. Most likely,
I can't
well,
agree
let's be
with
real.
it.
They're not-
You saying let's be real,
well,
but it's just the same thing as Uber. I can't say let's be real. I don't know what Grubhub is doing with the tips. I don't know what DoorDash is doing with the tips.
Yeah, but you can make it. But you can make a
we
logical.
we
You
could
can make a
say
logical.
we could say, but we don't have proof. And I'm a person that likes proof. I'm not. I don't want to just say. I don't want to just say, oh, you doing this. Like what? Okay. What about drivers that have six accounts on DoorDash? What about drivers that have 6 accounts on DoorDash and they're saying, man, I'm making like $3,000 a week.
Okay.
Unless they show me that they're doing that, I don't know. I can't say that.
I understand, but there's certain things you can kind of infer. Come on, let's be real. Not everything you have to have proof for in order to make some educational guesses. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I work.
We all know that the tip sharing, yeah.
I need
the
proof.
Tip sharing.
I need proof.
Well, we can make a reasonable guess that it's to their advantage. I'm sure we know these corporations are not really caring about us. They're really caring about themselves first. So we can make that. Can you make that assumption? That's a good assumption, right? Highly likely that they're more concerned about their end than ours.
Every business should be concerned about themselves.
Yeah,
first,
exactly.
their bottom line.
So let's be real. So they're more concerned about their bottom line. They ain't really concerned about us first. They're concerned about themselves first. So we can make that good, reasonable guess that the tip sharing is to their advantage.
I mean, many drivers. I know many drivers are gonna agree with you, but I just need proof. That's just how I roll. I can't make a.
Come on, UDM.
I mean, you can say come on.
Come on, man.
You can say come on. Like
bro.
I'm trying to help you understand. I don't know what your point is. The thing is, what I want you to understand. What I want you to understand. No. What I want you to understand is I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. That's just me.
Okay, you can.
That's me.
You give them the benefit of the doubt, but you can also make. I understand you can give them the benefit of the doubt, but you can also make an assumption also that hey.
I don't like to make assumptions. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't like to make assumptions. I like to talk to the person. Like you, I don't know you, right? But if you tell me that I'm making $400 a day, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. Unless you show me proof.
So you did.
Unless you show me proof, I'm not gonna really be like, okay, yeah, you really making 400. I'll just be like, oh, okay. I'm not gonna.
So you did.
Go ahead. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand this back and forth we're having right now. Go ahead.
No. I'm telling you, like you never made an assumption why DoorDash hides the tips. You never made an assumption about that. Like, yeah, that's pretty reasonable why they hide the tips.
I wasn't making an assumption. I wasn't making assumptions back then because I was focused on getting my money. I wasn't concerned about what DoorDash was. But this is what I'm trying to tell. It's like you keep saying, come on, but I'm telling you who I am and how I roll. The thing is, it's just not a concern of mine as long as I get my money. It's like, it's not.
We're not really getting your money. We're not really getting.
But I am getting the money that I see that I choose to accept. This has been an argument on my channel for a while, and I've stuck to my argument. And I said that I will take, if it's $10 going 5 miles, I'm taking $10 going 5 miles, not caring if it has a tip or not. This has always been my stance. I don't care if it has a tip or not. So what I'm saying to you is, even if it has a tip or it doesn't, or what's being done with the tip, who came out of pocket, it's not my concern. As long as I am paid for my job, that's all I am concerned about. That has been my stance for a long time on this channel, and it will always remain that. So I'm not gonna be the investigator or the person that's trying to figure out what they are doing with their money. That I just feel like, hey, I accepted this job right here, and this job I will be paid for. This right here is what I accepted. That's it. So when it comes down to my calculations, I always calculate the minimum tip pool. That's how I roll.
Okay.
I'm not going for more than that. And if I get more than that, then I'm happy with the more that I get. But I calculate the minimum tip pool, and that's it. I don't like to
So you're
prejudge. I don't like to prejudge, or if I don't have proof in front of me,
okay.
I'm not gonna prejudge. If the payout is just not worth it for me, I'm not gonna take it. And I've turned down many offers on Deliver That. I'm not taking that one.
Well,
Nope, I'm not taking this one. I'm not taking that one. I take it at face value. What they're doing with the money is really none of my business.
I'm just
What they
saying,
offer me, what they offer me is what I take. If I want
like
it.
I say, man, you get
Mhm.
if you're putting out all the effort, you're putting out all the expenses for a job, you should get full pay for that job.
And that's why I
Nobody
said
else should
I
get.
agree with you 100%. Especially like, you
Yeah.
know, with drivers, like say, I
Yeah.
didn't understand it at first when you first said it, but like say, okay, if you are going out there and you're doing all the work on that job, why should another driver share his or her tip with you, or you share your tip with him or her? I understand that 100%, you know. But I also said where I'm coming from. My perspective is just more of, hey, yes, we're running a business, but I'm also this person that's talking to a lot of people that are pouring their hearts out to me. So I got soft, you know, I'm getting soft and I'm listening to
Yeah,
people and
well,
their issues. And listen, that's just what it is. Whoever has reached out to me know the conversations we've had,
I
you know. So I got
I
soft
take
with that.
compassion. I take compassion.
Yeah, the
I take
compassion.
compassion, but like I said,
Hmm.
it's a corporation's job to handle that. You
Yeah,
got to handle your business, man.
yeah, and just the same as
Trust me.
everyone else, you are independent, and I've said this on the channel too.
Yeah,
You're independent. You got to look out for your bottom line. And if I mean this again, this is just
exactly.
a discussion. It's not an argument or anything. It's
Yeah,
you feel you deserve 100%, not sharing it with anyone, and I get that. I totally get that 100%.
yeah. They should be. Did they actually tell you what the actual tip was on Deliver That, or no? Did they ever
When
tell you what the actual tip was?
well, it tells you when they reach the end of the pay period. Like for instance, so Monday through is Wednesday is the ending of the pay period for a payout that's coming on Friday. So on Wednesday, I don't know exactly what time, but on Wednesday you could see what tip was added to your order for before you receive your
No,
payout
I
on
mean, did they
Friday.
reveal what the actual? Did they reveal what the actual tip was? That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah,
Before it goes
you
into
mean like
share, no?
the total tip on the order?
Yeah, like let's say somebody took $200. Did they ever say $200, or did they just say you get $10? Like I'm just wondering,
No.
like how much of a tip?
Well,
How much of
I
the tip did they
no.
give you?
I've never seen like okay, I watched the video and it said like they should like say, okay, if it's a pot, if it's a pool of let's say $2,000, right? If it's a pool of $2,000 and then like 200 drivers did easy cater orders, right? It should be shown that $2,000 was like collected from tips from all orders completed, right? It like that's one video that I saw, and I was like, that's not a bad idea, right? If it's like I see all the tips that were pulled, and then 200 drivers completed orders, then everybody gets an even split. But when you see your order, to answer your question, when I see my order coming in, I don't know if that order had a $500 tip on it, and then I'm only getting $18 of the 500. I don't know that. But if I were to see my order had $500 tip on it, I wouldn't want to be getting $18. I would want my $500 tip, you know? So, are you there? Well, let's take the next call. I guess they hung up. um, let's take the next call. Thank you for calling another UDM stream. Who are we speaking to? Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there you go. Okay. The other two people probably hung up. They were on hold for a while. Who are we speaking to?
J Bone.
What's up, J Bones? Talk to us.
So I have a unique view on tip pooling, and
Okay.
I think this will work better. So
Okay.
you got people who believe in it, and you got people who don't, right?
Right.
So why not allow them to elect to go into it and elect to not go into it?
Don't you feel like if there was like some voting, those that did not win will still make an issue of it?
No, no, it wouldn't be a voting thing. So you would sign up for it, right? So, for example,
I guess
say
I
DoorDash, for
got
example.
confused with elect when you used the word elect.
No, yeah, exactly.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you elect to go in it or you elect to stay out of it. So if you go in it, you pull your tips. If you stay out of it, you don't pull your tips.
You mean like
If
opt
you
in,
get
opt
more
out?
money yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Opt in, opt
Man,
out.
you got to use the words that I know,
Right.
man. I don't know. What you talking about, elect? Okay, we can run it for president.
I'm just
Okay, opt in, opt out. Okay, that's an interesting
Okay.
one. Okay, opt in to receive
Look,
100% of your tips, or
you.
opt out to
Tip
okay,
pool.
okay.
Because all right, so hear me out. So if you elect to get into the tip pool, right?
Mhm.
Say you're in a market where you think you could benefit from tip pool, and you pull in, and between all the drivers that pull in, the tips get pulled for those drivers and those drivers only, and you get what you get with all the other drivers. Now, it could also be something that could be used as a reward, and I'll get to that in a minute. So if you were to pull in, right, and y'all make more, now guess what these other drivers that ain't making as much gonna do? They be like, man, I should have opted in. Let me go ahead and opt in. But the end goal here, it's not the corporation's job to give you your tips and make sure you're making money. That's you. You're a business owner, and if you can't make money for yourself, then get out of this field. I'm always 100, because in reality, now that I'm in the position that I'm in, I really do believe that there are people that are not made and not cut out for this position. And they need to get out of the way and make room for the people that are ready to work. They need to make room for the people who are ready to be out here running and making the most money that they can. It's a hustle. So I both ways. If you want to opt in, opt in. You make more money, you can always opt out. If you don't make more money, well, that's to the backwards. If you make money, you can always opt in. Or if you feel like you're making less money with the tip pool, opt back out. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it be a choice. Because ultimately, some markets and some people can benefit from it. Some people might not. Those people that sit there and click decline, we call them cherry pickers, right?
Yeah.
They think that, if they sit there and decline, they're going to get the best order. In reality, they're not.
Right.
The algorithm is not made to do that.
Okay.
You're getting whatever's in line, and whatever's been declined by someone that's either got a higher rating than you or that was closer, whatever the case may be. Unless you're always sitting like what you call a ping stop, you're not the first one that got that anyways.
Okay.
So sitting there declining it does nothing for you. It just passes it on to the further driver. So tip pooling can work for some and might not work for others.
Okay.
So let it be an opt-in. I don't see a problem with it. Even if it was to put out no tip orders.
Okay.
Who cares as long as you're making your money, right?
Right.
What corporation is doing absolutely no effect on what you do to make your money. No effect at all.
Okay.
Unless the corporation does it affects your pay in a negative manner, and you can prove that it was whatever the corporation did to reduce your money. Because I can guarantee you, no matter what it is, what company it is, contractors' pay has to be somewhat fair. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in business.
Okay.
So just having a tip pool alone doesn't change what's going on.
Okay. All right. Really quick. Hold on. Hot facts. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can you hear the caller as well?
Yes, sir.
I'm also testing this out. Caller, can you hear hot facts?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure everybody was good. This is my first time doing this hot facts, so just give me 1 second, man. I'm just trying to cut your volume down a little bit. Edit mic settings, because you're a little loud.
Okay, let me turn mine down.
No. You good. You good. I'm gonna cut you down right here. Give me a mic check.
Check 1 2 1 2.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We good to go there.
Yeah, boy.
All right. So,
man.
all right, not a problem. So, what's your take on what J-Bone said on the line?
Well, the opting in thing, I can see how. Yeah, you opt in, you opt out. That to me, if they wanted to just really buckle down, I think that actually would be the best way. But like you said, there's always gonna be someone trying to talk about something else. But my personal thing with the whole tip sharing thing is, from a restaurant to a driver, because they help us, I think this is where times like this, the restaurants, when they see inflation going up and they're like, what are we going to do? If these apps are raising prices on the apps and, doing this stuff, maybe they should just, for, I don't know, takeout or order in, raise some of those prices just a little bit to help out the staff with tips. So like that. Or when, let's say they're signing up, or better yet, the best way, if we don't know about it, they can do it. If we signed up and we did not know that we were sharing tips, it would be A-okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But since we're independent, whatever I do, I feel is mine. Now, I am like you on this point too. When I accept the order, okay, I'm accepting that. That's what I accepted it on. That's what I feel I'm getting paid. Now, my work outside of that, if that gives me more, that's a blessing, because that's something more than what I had in the first place. So that right there. Now, when it comes to driver sharing tips, I feel the only way a driver should share a tip with another driver, if the situation, like you said, he couldn't handle it, or let's say one person ordered from 2 separate locations and it's 2 separate drivers dropping them off. If they tipped on one, they got to split that and put it to the other driver that's picking up for them too.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel go like that. But if it's yours, it's yours. But the opt-in, opt-out thing, I think that would, even though some people may get mad about that, I think that's the only way to do it, because it's your choice. If you are independent, you got to have an independent mind to make up that decision.
Okay. Let me ask the chat here. J Bones, you got a conversation going on here, man. All right. So let me ask the chat. Give me a thumbs up emoji in the chat right now if you would rather this method, where instead of just saying, hey, this is how our platform works, it's tip pooling and would you rather opt in, have the option to opt in and opt out of tip pooling? Give me a thumbs up emoji if you would. Give me a thumbs down emoji if you're like, nah, it's cool how it is. Tip pool works and that's it. I mean, J Bones, this is definitely an interesting way of looking at things. And I never looked at it like that, being able to opt in for the tip pool and opt out for the tip pool. Because if I opt out for the tip pool and I say, nah, I want to get 100% of my stuff, and then I do orders on the platform and I realize I just did a $1,200 order and I only received $20, but I had to set it up and I had to do all this stuff. And it's like, well, damn, $20, that's it? I don't get nothing else? Then I'll be like, okay, all right, that was a lot of work. Do I opt back in, at least receive a minimum of $14? Since we're talking about deliver that tip pooling and all that, if I would receive instead of the $20, a minimum $14 on deliver that on top of the $20 would then make it $34. Would it then be a better situation because I decided to opt in? It's more money, but that's definitely a good conversation to have. And I got a meeting with them on Monday, and I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna bring that up.
I mean, kind of like,
Mhm.
all right, there's obviously, right. So say for example, you're opted in to this tip pooling, right? Now here's the thing: a tip before delivery, in my opinion, was not a tip to you. It was a tip to the app, and the app can choose what the app needs to do with that, right? Because there was no service provided. And a tip for service has always been, done after. So allowed her to be tipped afterwards as well.
Mhm.
So if a secondary tip comes in, right? So say they adjust the tip up, not down. So say they adjust the tip up. I feel like 100% of that should go to you. But if there was a tip on there that you ain't even know, pull it, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, you opted in, pull it, whatever, right? So, but here's where it gets messy. I feel like if you gave exceptional service and they increased the tip afterwards, then yes, 100% that goes to you.
The difference?
Am I wrong?
Do you mean like the difference? Like, say if they left, let's say initially they left $20 as a tip, but then you gave exceptional service, then they raised it $50 more, which made it $70. You deserve the 50, or you deserve the 20 plus the 50? I'm trying to understand.
All right. So the $20 that's in the pool. That's that, right? You opted in. The $20 that's that. But if you did an exceptional service and they give you $50 extra, that don't go to the pool. That's mine.
They go to you.
You know what I mean? Like I that part right there is the only caveat, because okay, so say you do exceptional.
I like
service.
this already,
somebody
man.
in your chat.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, feel me out. I have amazing ideas when it comes to this stuff.
Whatever.
Like, listen, somebody in the chat said that lazy people would take advantage of this. So we take that away right now. All right. So we pull the original tip. And I'm an awesome driver, right? I'm an amazing driver. I make sure all my customers is always happy. I make sure that they get their food. I do the setup because we're doing deliver that. We put the little burner underneath. You know what I mean? I make sure that everything looks presentable. They give me a $50 tip. That $50 tip, I'm not a lazy driver. That comes to me.
Yeah.
That's that. My $50 is $50. Any increase is mine. I did that. But the original that went to Easy Cater or Deliver That or whoever, DoorDash, whatever, the original $20, nah, that's in the pool. I didn't know about that. You know what I mean? I opted in. I don't know about that. Whatever the case is, whatever I get. But anything additional comes to me.
Okay. I definitely appreciate your take, man. Go ahead, Hot Facts.
I said, you know what I think might happen with that? Now, it's like having your cake and eating it too. You know, you going in to be able to make sure you got that tip, and then you saying, well, hold up now. I'm still gonna give some extra service like I was doing, you know, like the other ones, and now I got to get 100% of that. I feel that this is what'll happen. Lazy drivers will start doing a little bit more, and if they do give them those tips, I feel like they're gonna be like, you know what, I want to get the full tip and then go back to what it was.
Like I had a discussion the other night. With Gig Hustler. All right, we had a Chop It Up live, and we were talking about the old DoorDash pay model. And Gig Hustler said he preferred the old pay model, but the old pay model caused drivers to complain so much that DoorDash got pushed back in the corner, and then they had to change the pay model, and then now we have to deal with the $2, $3, and so on and so forth. So it's like we liked the old pay model, but then we didn't like it. You know, but we didn't like it when we had it. But now that we have something new that's worse, we're like, I'd rather the other one. Bring it back. You know, so we don't like neither of them, but we prefer the one before versus the one we have now. So I mean, I really like this discussion. I really wanted to Wow, I'm glad I had this good discussion with y'all. Wow. Okay.
I'm
All
glad
right.
I was
So
watching, man, because this has never, out of all the discussions you have about tipping, and this right here, the introduction with the tip sharing led into all this. And
yeah.
this is good talks, because I think somebody out there has got to be listening to this right now. You got a lot of subs.
Yeah.
Somebody might be listening to this, and it might hit some rooms, people. It might actually hit a discussion. You never know, because this is interesting right here. Interesting. Good
So
job on bringing that up, man.
So I mean,
well, it
so
was.
I mean,
Go ahead, J Bones.
here's my thought on this, man. You know, what a lot of people don't understand is when drivers wish for things, they get exactly what they wish for. But every time we get something, they give it and they take it, right? It's always that scenario. So what people don't realize is, okay, yeah, we opt in to tip pooling and all this extra stuff, and it's great. You know what I mean? Everybody's eating. But I still agree both ways, and I feel like there's so many ways to change the gig economy that it could benefit drivers, because everybody's like, oh, the executives make this, the executives do this. I'm gonna keep it 100. The executives, you saw, DoorDash was mad. All these executives got to go on the road. Obviously, there's something that they don't understand. Yeah, they're making $100,000 a year, but in most cases, drivers make more than the people that are in the office. And I hate to throw it out there like that, but it's true. You know, you talk to the people that are on the phone. You ask them, oh, what do you make? You know, most of the time you make more than them. So all of these different changes could be better for the economy to put more money in people's pockets. The idea isn't just to, oh, well, the lazy drivers are going to take advantage of that, because no matter what pay model we push, no matter what pay model anybody asks for, drivers are always going to want more. Always, always, always. No matter, I can give you $100 a delivery, and there's always going to be someone in the back that screams, I need 150. I need 200.
Yeah.
It's never going to be enough.
It's true.
So why not make it to where it's fair for all? On top of that, not only is it just fair for all, right? So just like this, you know, you get the extra, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely, like, if every single app did the opt-in, opt-out. So say, you know, and I've said it before, Uber is consistent, but it's always trash, but it's consistent, right? So if you know Uber pays trash, but they give you that volume that keeps you going, don't opt into the tip pool, right? But if you know that, you know, Deliver That, for example, they give really high-paying offers. They got this tip pool going on so that they make sure that everybody's eating. And on top of that, anything additional that I make, you know, at the delivery is mine to keep. At that point, it's kind of like, why not? And the thing is, independent contractors, from what I've seen, think about it as a W-2 employee. And I want to put it in a bar perspective, right? So everybody talks about, you know, tip pooling and how it's a bartender trade. Think about like bellhops, right? So like bellhops in hotels, in most hotels, the tip to the bellhop is included in your room charges and all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you hand that extra tips, the bellhop, they pull that. The bellhop's making an hourly wage, they pull the tips. But how many times, if you hand the bellhop cash, do they slip it in their pocket? There's no honesty. That's why tip pooling has always been trash. But if everything's done electronically or whatever the case may be, you know, where nobody has control to, you know, slip it in their pocket. At that point, tip pooling is fair. Everybody has the old mentality in it, and it's crazy that people don't understand that the gig economy is here and it's changing the way that things were before. So when you're tip pooling, people think of the whole old tip model where, you know, like I said, a delivery driver, pizza guy goes out, he gets $50 cash, and he's like, well, I got to pool this, so I'm going to put 25 in my pocket. You know what I mean? And I didn't get 50, I got 25, and then I hand him 25, right? But this eliminates that, right? And then on top of that, if you get a cash tip, you got a cash tip. You know what I mean? That ain't got to be pooled. That's you. That's all you. Anything additional on top of that order is all you. But the electronic tips that already get taxed anyways, why not? They get taxed anyways. So that $2 you minus your 22 to 30%, depending on your tax bracket, that's 60-some cents. What you worry about? I'd rather get $5 and minus 22% because of the tip pool then they get $2 and then only get like, 60 cents or whatever. So it's the way that people think about it that's wrong. It's so many people that think that it's, oh, this is my money. I work for DoorDash and I do DoorDash and I do this. And that's completely wrong. You're a business owner. If we pool tips and everybody's eating and everybody's more successful, and the driver happiness is there, more people are going to come to the app. People are going away from the apps because so many drivers, I don't get paid enough. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did. It's the image that we put out as drivers that scare the customers away. So I just feel like, in all honesty, tip pooling could help if you let everybody opt in. You don't want your money messed with? Okay, cool. Sit over to the side. But when you get the no tip orders, I don't want to hear it. At that point, you chose not to have a tip pool. So that non-tip order is all your fault. You made that decision on your own. Boom. It's all fixed. Okay. The no tip, no trip goes away. All the stuff for those drivers have been complaining. You always get a tip. You at least get this much money. And in my opinion, at that point, you opted out. That's your problem. You're not making enough? Cool. You can always opt in, but that's your own problem. You made your decision. You made your bed. Lie in it.
You know what? I think that right now, pretty much the opt-in, opt-out is what we got in our states and the other states that's doing it with the hourly. That's pretty much would be the elimination of the opt-in, opt-out is what we got. So no matter what, once you hit accept, you're going to make more money anyway because you're never going to hit what they want you to make for your base pay. So you're always going to get that extra money. You know what I mean? So in a way that the opt-in, opt-out, it's what the hourly pay structure is. That's pretty much what it is because you're still getting paid what you get paid for the order itself. Your hourly time, you got to look at that as like a pot tip. You know what I mean? That's the money in the pot for if it goes 1 minute to whatever minute, you're going to get that much extra going into you. I think that's exactly I think that's why they put it in. That opt-in out thing is pretty much what we're doing here now. And that's what the hourly. Now, if you don't want to take the order and not get your money or the hourly, then that's like, I don't want to mess with it at all. You're just not going to eat. But when you accept the order, you know you're going to get that allotted time tip attached to what you're already getting. You know what I mean?
So can I ask a question? I want to ask you, Hot Facts, J Bones. We do have another caller right behind you. That's been on the line for 12 minutes. So once you answer this question, if you don't mind giving the other caller a chance to chime into the conversation, all right? So
yeah, you good.
All right. So I got this question that I'm asking everyone. All right. You have some drivers that want 100% of their tips. And then you have some drivers that say, I want to be paid fairly. Now, everyone is independent, right? Everyone has their number. Whatever that number is for the order size that you had to complete. Some drivers want $20 for a plate of PF Chang's to go 0.5 miles. Some drivers will say, nah, I'll do that for $5, right? Now, each driver is different. So the question is, if you want to be paid fairly, what is fair pay to you? Now, we're not talking about employee mindset. We're not talking about business mindset, right? In the end, if we're talking business, you want your money, right? You want whatever that money is that you decided to take this job and do. All right. What is that number for you? For you to do, let me just put a number out there. For you to do $150 order, that's the order cost from McDonald's. Obviously, it's fast food. It's cheaper food. What would your number be what would that fair pay number be for you if you had to do $150 of McDonald's to pick it up and deliver it, and you had to put it on the table wherever they wanted it? Hot Facts, you go first. What would your number be?
With the setup involved?
With the setup involved.
Setup involved, 150. you know what, 150 setup involved. You can throw me $30. Throw me $30 with a setup involved, and I'll take care of you. I'm gonna set it up real quick and be in and out. I'm gonna go set it up professional, $30. It's McDonald's. You're not doing too much. You might have to just open up a bag. I'm not gonna, open a bag. You guys gonna eat. $30. McDonald's is only what? Right there. The business place where I'm taking it to is like 4 miles away, something like that. Give me $30. I'll go ahead, set it up. I'll give you a smile and everything, and I'm out. Now,
Okay.
what you do on top of that, I'll take that too.
All right. Now, J Bones, your turn. What's fair pay for $150 McDonald's order? And you got to set it up.
I mean, typically on a catering order, when I set it up, I would say 15%. But it really depends on how much setup is involved. How much setup could really be involved in a $150 McDonald's order, especially when we're doing it from the apps, right? So, I mean, that's where it gets dicey. You know what I mean? It's a couple boxes because you got $150 don't stretch as far as you think it does. So you're looking at maybe 15, 20 boxes, organize it by box color, whatever, because McDonald's is cheap anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I would honestly say 15, 20 bucks plus whatever tip. 10 to 15% of the order, because it is a lower grade establishment. You have to understand that, each establishment is going to pay differently. So I say 10 to 15% of the order, on top of the fact that whatever tip they give me, pool, if we're in a pool and I've opted into the tip pool, whatever tip pool I get. So 10 to 15, or I say $15 to $20, because it's 15 to 20%. So roughly about $15, $20 plus whatever tip pool.
Okay. So about 10 to 15% of the order cost, right?
Yeah, I mean, between 10 to 15, 20 at most. It just depends on the establishment.
Okay. All right. So, okay, that's cool. All right. I see some people put in the chat here. All right. Delivery driver beta says $30 to $45 for 150 McDonald's order. All right. And they got to set it up. All right. Now, for me, just so I could be part of the conversation, right? For me, $150 worth of McDonald's, I'm taking it out my bag and I'm just putting it on the table. This is what I quote unquote call a setup, right? I'm putting it on the table, or maybe I'm arranging the boxes like J-Bone said. The red one's over here, the yellow one's over there, the white one's over here. Like, to me, I would take about $20 to $25. Right?
Mm-hmm.
At least that's how I feel, right? $20 to $25. I feel like any catering order, right, of any sort should be a minimum of $20. I know everyone has their own thing, right? A minimum of $20 just for me to move. All right, that's how I feel. Give me $20 and I'll knock this out for you. I got to pick it up. I got to drop it off. No problem. I got to set it up. Okay, that's fine. Give me a minimum of $20. Right now, whatever tip comes after that, I'm cool with it, right? If it's 15, if it's 20, if it's 40, however much, right? It doesn't matter at that point, because I feel like, okay, I got my base, and my base is $20. I said I'll move this for you for $20. So now let me ask y'all the same question, and this is the last question for you, J Bones. I'll let you go first on this one. The same order, the customer does not want you to set it up. What's your fair pay?
$10, $15.
$10 to $15. Okay.
Well, yeah, because in all reality, it's no setup involved. In all reality, you should be tipping about 10, 15%, 20 on average. So if we're going based on averages, you're looking at about 15, 20 bucks. I mean, it's roughly one and the same. The thing is, you're expecting a 20%, 15, 20% tip plus whatever base pay and tip pool you get.
Okay.
So, I mean, same crap. You know what I mean? It's the same amount of money. And just one's easier than the other. And I mean, if you wanted to, you could change your outlook on it. But I mean, the setup on that order would be bare bones minimum anyways.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you for your contribution. All right. Thanks for the call, brother. Have a good one. Okay.
Anytime. Yeah.
All right. Have a good one. All right. Hot facts. Your turn. Go ahead before I
You
take the
know
next
what?
call.
You know what? That question right there, and I'm gonna be way real. That's like I got a big old giant box I do with on Uber Eats. So, I may see an order like that. I knock that out. Yeah, I knock that out for 12, $15. I take it right there and knock it out. Yeah. But with the setup, that's manual labor right there. You got to step
Yeah.
that up right there. Yeah, you got to step
Right.
that up.
So the manual labor, the manual labor will increase your number by 18 to 30, 18 to 15. Actually, I'm going backwards because I remember you said about $30 to do with the setup, and then you said 12 to $15. It would need to be at least 15 to $18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. 18. Okay. That I see that. All right. Let's take the next call. All right. Let's take this next call here. Thank you for calling another UDM stream. Who are we speaking to?
Eric.
Eric, how you doing?
Oh man, every day's a holiday.
Every day's a holiday. I'm glad to hear that. Put a smile on my face when you said that.
Any day above ground's a good day.
Yeah. All right. So what's your take on this topic? Sharing tips. How do you feel about it?
Well, I definitely see both sides of the argument here.
Mhm.
Like I get like whenever you take an order, it's just between you and the person you're taking the delivery to, and then of course DoorDash, they take their share and whatnot.
Mhm.
And then so I feel like sure that you could take your pay from that, like 100% of it. But on the flip side of that, as well, that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll make more money overall, because especially I see a lot of people in the chat saying like they cherry pick a lot. I could see a lot of people say that they cherry pick and what have you. So, which is great. That's what I always do as well. But like I said, the problem is, especially nowadays with everything going to hell in a handbasket, with inflation, prices of everything going up and everything, we're not guaranteed a good payout, and the payouts could be less and less because people are tipping less and less because they don't have as much money. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
You know what? I think one of the biggest issues is people are just depending on tips. You know what I mean? Like they are just. I think more people are turning down orders that you can actually take off the face value, and then they're just banking on, I got to get tips, and if I don't see a tip attached to that, you can't just go in just thinking about the tip like that. People, they put a number up there for face value so that you can take it. That's the whole point. They put something there for you to take that they can see it's enticing for someone, enough for someone to take. When you just start thinking tip, like my wife even does this. The other day, she was like, man, it's tough. People aren't tipping as much. I tell her, take that out your brain. People aren't tipping as much. You got to take that out. Inflation and things is gonna happen. Okay. People are not gonna stop doing anything. The world's still gonna move. People are still gonna do the exact same thing. You have to adapt. You have to now start looking at how like UDM does this thing and how I do face value. If you look at it as face value, you'll be more happy because when they do give you a tip, that is grateful right there. When you don't get the tip, you took it at face value, so you're still happy. It's people are just they're using that tip as the major crutch, and then saying, well, if that person gets and I don't get tips, well, I got to get some of his tips. How about they take some of his tips away and give them to me? Nah, man. Accept what you accept and just work on your personal game. Everybody be okay.
I can't disagree with you there. But I also understand when a person feels, especially when we work for tips, we work for tips, and if we don't get a tip on the order, it will be a bunch of trash, a bunch of trash that we got to now
Right.
go through. Like, oh man, I don't know if y'all ever dug through trash. You say, for instance, you dropped something in the trash bin that wasn't supposed to be in there. You ever
Right.
dug through the trash and you got to deal with all those smells and all the stuff you don't want to deal with to try to get whatever it is that was important that you dropped in there? The whole thing is like, I feel no matter what, drivers will always feel some type of way about the tips, even if hot facts, even if you said like just take it out your mind and focus on the number that you see up front. Is that worth it for you? If it's not, then don't take it. If it is, then take it, right? And if you get something extra on the back end, awesome, right? I know there's some drivers out there right now that do Instacart, that do let's just use Instacart. A driver said, hey, you know what? Those Instacart orders, they started coming up with like little tricks. Like, I forgot what it was that a driver once said about the ones that have no tip on it, or like it has a 1 cent. I think that's what it was. Don't quote me on this, but I think it said if the offer on the Instacart order said 1 cent tip, it was like code for I'm gonna tip you in cash. I'm like, what? Like, I never heard that before. Have any of you heard this before?
Yes, actually, I just did
I haven't.
I just did an interview with the guy. His name is Counting Currency Cordell. He only does Instacart, and I did not know all this Instacart stuff, but yes, he says in order for you to make the most on Instacart, they throw out these batches that look like trash, and he says once you accept that order, he says I go pre-shop the order inside the market, and he says within 15 minutes they're attaching me with the larger batch to it every single time. So he says a lot of the people, they don't take those batches, and he takes them because he figured out that code. When it looks cheap, you're getting something else attached to it. You're all the way right. Yeah, it's an Instacart thing that he actually broke down 2 days ago.
That's interesting. But me being the type of driver that I am, and I'm like, if it got heavy pay, if I see like say 3 cases of 32 packs of water and you left me a 1 cent tip, I'm like, come get it yourself. Like I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. But I just feel like
you're giving it yourself, yeah.
right. So the tipping conversation, there's always gonna be a driver that's about what I see up front, and a driver that is concerned about what's on the back end to see if you're taking advantage of me or not. You know, it's like we've been taken advantage of. I've been around for 5 years, right? I know there's some drivers that's been around a lot longer than that. Like, for instance, we have Middleton Technologies in the chat, and we have Rideshare Rodeo that's in the chat. Both of these gentlemen have done way more rides. They've been in the gig economy a lot longer than I have, you know. But the thing is, when you have been taken advantage of for a period of time, it's hard to kind of like break out of like, you know what? I'm always on defense because I don't know what to expect. You know, it's hard to break out of that, especially when you're dealing with the same company that caused you to be on defense because of how many different changes, how many different violations, how many different complaints from the customers, and not even hearing your side of the story. Your account is paused. All these things that happened over the years, it caused drivers to be on defense. So now drivers are like, you know what, man, I'm tired of your sugar honey iced tea. You know what? I want all my money up front. I know the last time I got burned. You give me all my money up front. That's it. I don't want nothing else. I don't want to have this conversation with you. You gonna give me my? Oh, you ain't putting nothing on the back end. You're supposed to put something on the back end. What happened to that? Nah, I want my money, man. Let me knock on your door. You know, like different things have happened over the years, and I feel like there's something I said in a previous stream, and it was something along the lines of, when I first got started with the YouTube stuff, there were drivers out there that did not know much and I was one of them, right? There was a lot more drivers that did not know much, and we were just taking anything that they threw at us. But after the pandemic, after all this stuff, like the new drivers that are coming on, they're getting hip to it a lot quicker than the old heads like myself. I call myself an old head now. You know, like the ones that started like 5 years ago, that it was, things were a lot easier back then. Drivers were literally, now they're literally getting hip to the ways that things go a lot faster. And they're like, nah, we don't want no tip orders. We don't want none of that extra stuff that you trying right now. We want my money. We want our money up front, and that's it. So I could see both sides. That's my point. I could see both sides. It's just I'm that guy in the middle that I'm having conversations with people that other people ain't hearing, or people online ain't hearing. And then I'm also hearing those that are online, and I understand where they're coming from as well. But like, I'm like trying to find some kind of middle ground, because there are some people that it's hard for them right now. And they're talking about a W-2, and some can't even get a W-2 even with a degree, you know. And
Right.
some I feel like some of them with a degree don't want to go and work at Chick-fil-A or McDonald's that might have a $15 per hour. You know, some people, nah, their standards are up here. Like, no, I'm not going to work at McDonald's and flipping no burgers, coming home smelling like booty and grease. You know, like, no. Okay. Now the whole thing is, man, it's like, this is just a very sensitive subject, and it will always be a sensitive subject, because everyone looks at it differently. People come from businesses, and they come into this type of work because their business shut down or whatever happened, and they come into this line of work, and they literally apply the same things like they did with their business. No, this is how I ran my business. This is how I'm running my business here. And if it's not lucrative, then I move on to the next thing. But then there's some people that don't look at it like a business like that. And some people, they look at it like a business, but they love it. They love the freedom. They love the experience. They love how easy it is. So they don't want to jeopardize any of that. And they just keep on doing it the way that they love to do it. So there's always going to be a group that is with the tip pool or share tips, because it's like, you know what, I'm making more. Like right now, that's me. I'm making more with inflation. I did a video. I used to make about 18 to 23. I think that's what I said in the previous video. 23 was my max. Now I'm over 30 because of the tip pool that I'm experiencing. So it's like, right now, I'm trying to keep this train moving, keep these wheels turning. And over 30 an hour with the tip pool, I'll take that any day versus the 23 max that I was making before without the tip pool. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my mind went. And I was hoping to at least spread it out to whoever else was just like me that needed to boost that pay to over 30. You know, it's not going to work for everyone, but that was my purpose. Whoever needs it, you take it and you run with it. If you don't need it, then, you know, you do your thing.
Well, yeah, and it's working in your situation. So, you know, it's like you said, if it's working in my situation, if I'm experiencing it and I see how it you know, it's benefiting, I might as well put that information out there. And that's what you got to do if you're a real stand up there. Now, let me ask you this: would it be wrong? Would it be wrong if people start? You know how you get into the back of a ride share and they have this little sign, "I accept tips." Would it be wrong if a delivery driver had their own little badge said "I accept tips" or came up with a tip cup attached to their shoulder or something? Delivery driver walked up with you know how they have the tip cups inside the restaurant. Delivery driver had a tip cup.
You know what? I'm not even gonna answer that, right? I'm gonna ask everybody that's watching. would you be willing to ask for tips? If it's with a badge or with a cup or whatever, would you be willing to ask for tips? You go ahead, Eric. You first.
I mean, I would, yeah, but not like, but I wouldn't like ask directly. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, this I appreciate, I would just do it like you said. It was like either in a sign in my car or something like that, or on my car, or whatever the case. Wherever wants me to I put my sign and what have you, I put it there. But yeah, I would. But that's just me.
Okay. I mean, okay. So I'll be honest, I wouldn't ask for no tips, man. I'm just being honest, hot facts that I wouldn't ask for tips.
I feel you. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
that's what I'm saying. I know not everybody's the same way.
Yeah, I work for mine and all, but I'm just saying, you go into a restaurant, you go into a place to buy food, and it's an all the way takeout place, and they got that cup that's sitting right there with the drawn in smiley face, and it says tip. So I'm just like, does anyone just started walking up to a door and you got a little tip thing? You got a tip thing, strapped to your chest. You know what I mean?
But what about the flip side? How would the customer feel? Like, all right, so there's homeless.
Well, I think that way because I don't ever do rides. Like I just do the eats and what have you. So I'm not very experienced in like driving people around. So that's just coming from a newbie from that perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So that's a very interesting take, man. I know there's people that have put, like they would do the stickers and then they would put them on the bags,
Yeah, I see that on Facebook groups all the time. Like they have their name and what have you.
Yeah, I've seen that, and people. I know there's some people that are really bold too, and they would say, just like I did. We did many videos about it a few years back about that Dasher. Was it Dasher? Yeah, it was a Dasher, a lady that drove how many miles in traffic, and she was on the Ring camera and saying, "Hey, this $8 tip is too small, it's too low. I need more."
Yeah, it was like $8 tip for like a 45-minute drive or whatever.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Oh, I've seen that, man. The girl went up to the door and everything. She was demanding that. I was like, man.
But a lot of people, they were saying that was a decent tip. And a lot of people that were from that area, they were like, that's not that long of a drive. What are you talking about? 45 minutes? That's not 45 minutes.
She was in traffic. That's what it was. Like look, an $8 tip. What driver is getting mad? Like, man, okay, $8 tip. I'm winning right now. I'm watching people's YouTube channels right now when they get the $8 tip. They showing coins drop off, mixed in the screen and stuff. They got the $8. She was really mad.
Yeah.
She was really mad. It was something else. It was something else.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, look at that situation, right? That was an old situation, right? But look at that. Imagine drivers like, hey, no, we're going to knock on this door. Even if the notes say, do not knock, baby sleeping, or do not knock. I got whatever, for whatever the reason. Dogs go crazy, right? I'm going to knock on your door anyway because, hey, listen, you did not leave a tip. Hey, I need something. You want this food? You're going to have to give me something. I can be bold like that, but I'm not going to be bold like that because I accepted it. Whatever that job is, I accepted it. And that order might have had 15. It might have showed me $15 on it. And I'm just like, I'm not going to ask for more than that. I don't know who it's coming from. I don't find out until later, but it got $15 on it. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm not going to ask for. Huh?
How about this one here? How about, how you can write the message on why you deliver on the apps, your little greeting message to the customer. Someone just puts, say, why do you deliver? For tips. I deliver for tips. You think that'll make someone, you put that in your little tag, Mine says I want to make sure you don't miss out. If someone put I deliver for tips, you think that'll change someone's mind when they get that driver?
Honestly, I can only speak for my experience in my area. In my area, people, when they feel like you're trying to make something known, they intentionally do the opposite.
Do the opposite. Okay.
Like for instance, if I say, hey, I work for tips, I got my little sign or whatever. I put a little post. It's like the response around, not everyone. I'm not gonna speak for everyone, right? But a lot of the response is like, oh, you work for tips? I got one for you. Have a nice day on a note, and I'll hand it to you. Like there's people like that. It's like they're very malicious, very like, oh, I'm gonna show you, and yeah, that wouldn't work here. I feel like people work hard for their money, and if I try to finagle them out of their money with whatever, then it would be like, nah, okay, you know what? Now you're not gonna get it just because you did that. Yeah. That's just how it is in my area. I can't speak for everybody else, but at least that's the way that the people that I've dealt with in my life, that's how a lot of them are.
Right. Yeah, I just been thinking about this. Is just really think because you look at people beg for change in front of the place you go into all the time. I just got to the point to where I'm wondering if these drivers are just begging for tips. I just want to know if that was if it's happening out there, you guys, don't be ashamed. Say it. Just say if it's happening. That's how we'll know. If someone says, I think I've seen it, you probably did it. Just let us know. Just let us know if you're asking for tips.
Okay. Hey, so Eric, anything else you want to add to the conversation before I take the next call? Because we do have one in the queue.
No, I'm good on my end. Appreciate taking the call.
No problem. You have a good night, brother.
I mean,
go ahead.
J-Bone, he kind of said a lot of things that I was going to say. For like, okay, I will say something real quick. I'm sorry. For my personal situation, he said he was an awesome driver. I'm an awesome driver as well, off the Texas. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't turned on Uber Eats or DoorDash or any of that in a long time. I do things like I have Deliver That, and I also there's another local thing that's kind of like Deliver That, but it's just for the Austin area. That's where I make most of my money. All and the way that they had it set up, it's similar to a tipple, but it's not like called a tipple. I forgot to figure out exactly what it was. But anyway, like the way that they have it set up is like base pay, unless you screw up, the base pay is $20 no matter what. $20. Even if you drive it to the restaurant and the order's canceled, you get your $20. And then like they add on other certain factors, of course, like mileage, size of the order, stuff like that, and wait time as well. Okay. It's like $5 for every 15 minutes you have to wait, similar to Deliver That. And
I got you.
Yeah, and like I said, it I don't depend on tips on that one. So that's kind of like where I was coming from. Like if I didn't do that, I'd be like, oh no, yeah, man, I'm worth my money 100% of the tips because
okay,
it's my money and I need it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But after working with them, I kind of see both sides of it because you're getting like with my area, it's like really bad with tips and what have you. Like anytime that I've turned it on, I've never seen an order above even $1.20 per mile. Mm-hmm. So that's why I haven't really even bothered with it. Yeah. But with the other app, it's always the $1.50, $2, sometimes even more. I think the most I got paid for an order. You mentioned a $1,500 taco order. I took a Freebird order. It was like $1,600, and I waited like almost 2 hours. And I think the final payout on that was like $175. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, definitely appreciate your contribution. Go ahead.
No, like I say, every area is different. I know, so I know a lot of people are going to have different takes on it.
Yeah.
Like there's pros and cons to it, but it all depends on your mindset in your area and how you plan on pushing forward and getting your money.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for your contribution, Eric. You have a blessed night, and I don't know if you're working right now, if you're home, but just be safe.
No, I'm at home right now.
All right.
I definitely will. Y'all too. God bless.
All right. Have a good one.
Now, you know what? He just said that's not bad. 1,500, 175. Let me tell you this: I sold solar and windows and everything. When you inside there getting that commission on there, that's pretty much what that broke down to. So he 2 hours, $1,500 delivery for $175. I'll go take them tacos any day of the week. Let's go ahead and take them tacos. That's a good deal there.
All right. Well, we do have one more caller in the queue. And after this call, that we'll close the lines. All right. So let's take this call. Thank you for calling another UDM stream. Who are we speaking to?
Opportunity. It's about opportunities.
Here we go. What's up? What's up, brother? How you doing? Opportunities.
I'm good, bro.
I remember.
I had to support you.
All right. So I really do want to hear your take on this, man. Well, how do you feel about shared tips?
Shared tips. What is that exactly, UDM? How does it work?
Tip pool.
Because we don't have it in my market.
Tip pool. Like, I mean, okay, so all right. So what's your take on 10 drivers knock out 200 orders?
Okay.
One like say a fraction of those orders had really high tips. Another fraction of those orders had like mediocre tips, and another fraction had no tip. Do you feel like all those tips should be spread evenly amongst all those drivers that knocked them out? Or do you feel like whoever did the one with the high tip should get 100% of that?
Personally, I don't think it should be spread evenly.
Okay.
I think it should be spread. The second option, because of what if I'm doing a much better job than somebody that's doing an average job?
Okay.
Like what if I'm doing supreme service, but he still gets the same tip as me? That's not right. To me, it's not right.
Okay.
So it's just to me, it just seems another way that I can be average and get tips. You know what I mean? Because there's no motivation to do your best job if you're going to share tips like that. There's no sense. It really doesn't matter. So why be at my best when I'm going to get the same anyways? So I don't like that. So that tip pool, that's how it works. I don't like it at all.
Okay.
Bad
so
for business.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So all right, so let me ask you a different question, right? And by the way, this is Jaywalk on the line. All right. If you do not know his voice by now. All right. So Jaywalk, if you had a team of drivers and your team, the drivers that would always get the low, let's say 10 drivers. Okay, so five drivers get the tips. They go to the area, they work the routes that have all the good tips. And 5 drivers work the areas and the routes that don't have tips at all. Right? What would you do as the person that has this company? What would you do to keep everyone happy? Would you pay the ones that don't receive tips more money? Or what would you do?
Me personally, I would just rotate weekly.
Oh.
1 week you guys get the high tips. 1 week you get the low tips. The next week we'll reverse it and keep doing it like that, because you can't talk about unfairness. You can't talk about hey you're showing favorites. We're just gonna rotate it. It can't get no fairer than that. So that's how I would do things.
That's another good one, man.
That's a good one right there. Rotate it so you can't say nothing. You know when your week is coming. You know when your week is coming.
Exactly.
All right, so let's say markets now. Say your market just sucks, but let's say my market is awesome. Now that's 2 different markets, right? And now you're the person. Okay, you're the head of the company, right? You're the owner. So Hot Facts market is great. UDM market sucks. How do you keep the drivers in UDM market happy, and the drivers in Halifax market happy as well?
It would be, to me personally, it would be who's working the hardest, who's showing the most dedication, and who is willing to show me, you know what, I'm about helping all of us make money. So if I got to be here for you to make money, Jerome, then I'm going to be here for you. If I got to be in his market, you know, was it High Hopes was the name? I don't know. I'm sorry. But if I got to be in his market, Hot Facts. Sorry about that, brother. Sorry. But if I got to be in his market to make money, so be it. It's all about the team. So if he's willing to do his market just for all of us to make money, then that's how you reward him by putting him in a bigger market. It's about a team. You know what I'm saying? Now it's about team.
Okay, but it sounds like all right, I got to separate the two here. It sounds like you got employees. I'm talking independent contractors. We're talking
about contractors?
Yes, there's a market with no tippers and there's a market with tippers. How do you keep everyone happy on your platform?
Okay, but here you go, man. But if they're independent contractors, that's on them. It's not about me keeping them happy. It's about how hard they want to work and the effort they put in because they're independent contractors.
True.
Correct?
True.
Okay, they're picking their own hours. They work when they want to work. That's on them. That has nothing to do with me. All I can do is lead you to the water. Can't make you guys drink it. Okay. That's all I can do.
All right, you're right. But what I gotta interrupt you before you finish because I know you're gonna go. You gonna hit a whole lot of nails on the head. I got you. Right. I know you're ready. You came in with your guns blazing. I got you. Okay. All right. So what if your independent contractors that's knocking out these jobs for you? This is what keeps your company afloat. Are you just going to say, you know what? It's not my job to keep you happy, right? It's not my job to keep you happy. Would you just let them fall off and then you get no orders in rotation, none being completed in the no tip market?
I don't know if I would go that far, but
so you throw out some bonuses, huh?
Yeah, you can have a bonus from chicken or something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I can put them in situations because independent contractors to be as successful as they can, but the success depends on them though. It's not going to be on me. I can set you up. I can give you guys alley-oops, but eventually you guys got to dunk it because you're independent contractor. So it's the best. I can put you in great situations, but you have to complete it. That's just how independent contractors work.
Yeah.
So the people that see, for me personally, I was talking about the tips earlier. I don't complain about tips because I keep telling people it's an opportunity. If you see $650 on an order, we're giving you an opportunity to make $650. So when you get $650, don't get mad because it's $650. They don't, if they don't want to tip. You see $650, take that $650, and you move on to the next order. It might be 7. Next order might be 8, or it might be 4, or it might be 3. So me personally, I don't like you were saying a while ago, UDM, take things at face value. But when you start worrying about tips, that's when you're gonna start to struggle at your job. That's when the struggle comes in.
Okay.
Because not to cut you off, but it's about enjoying what you do, and the money will come. The money will come if you just enjoy what you do. It will come. But if you worry about money, it's going to start to feel like a job. So
I'm glad you was the last call, man.
Well, you know me.
Don't do it, J. Walk. Come on. Don't do it. Just humble yourself, brother. Humble yourself.
All right, man. I ain't gonna do it.
Hey, but definitely appreciate you sharing your take, man. Especially the independent contractor portion of it, where you basically stated like, hey, it's not my job to make you happy. It's your job to make yourself happy. And if my platform is not making you happy, And what you doing here? You know, like, okay,
Right.
so, but at the same time, as the company owner, you know what? I need my orders completed over here. So I may need to invest a little bit more of the money over there. You know, so those drivers could knock out some more of those orders. I get it. You know, I definitely get it, man. And I appreciate your take on this whole conversation. That's why I'm glad you were the last call. So anything else you want to say to the family?
Yeah, well, yeah, I miss y'all, man. And kindness is always free. That was it, though.
All right. Okay. Well, you have a good one then, brother. Be safe and have a good night.
Okay. Yeah, you too, brother. All right.
All right. Now, Hot Facts, you're on the screen. Anything else you want to say to the fam before we wrap this up?
Yeah, man. Just when you guys are out there doing your job, just think about, you know, the best interest for you, your family, what you got at home. You know, try to block out everybody else and just stay focused on your prize, because you stay focused on other people's prizes, you're going to miss out what you were supposed to get in the first place. So, you know, look at the orders, and you know, as these jobs change, we have to adapt, and you can't keep the same mentality as they change. So you got to find ways to do your thing and make sure it works the best for you. You know what I mean? And have a good one.
All right. Well, thank you, brother. And you have a good one as well, okay?
Yeah, man.
All right. Okay. So I kind of cut him off. I apologize, High Facts. But yeah, this was definitely a conversation, and a lot of good information in this conversation. One thing I say is there's drivers that are gonna do what they want to do anyway, right? No matter what information is out there, a driver is gonna do what they feel is best for them. And that's the best way to handle it, right? That's the best way to handle it. In my case, with Deliver That, I do more Deliver That and more Instacart. Earlier in the conversation, I said some drivers, no matter how much these batches are paying, they're still not going to want to go shop. They don't want to shop because they hate shopping. They only want to shop for themselves. They hate shopping. But me, being one of those people that used to hate shopping, saw the benefit. And you know what? After I knock out these catering orders in the morning, let me go ahead and do this Instacart right before dinner time when people placing their orders. Right? I'm going to do this Instacart, do as many batches as I can knock out, not going for the ones with a whole lot of items and a whole lot of pay. Nah, I'm going for the ones with minimal items with a decent pay. And I have been literally making more than the 23 cap per hour that I've made over the last couple of years. So I'm like, man, why wouldn't I take advantage of this opportunity? Tip pool, no tip pool, doesn't even matter to me. This allows me, if you check my community tab, I try to make sure I put this information out there to y'all, those that are willing to digest it. I'm putting it out there to you, whoever needs it. If you don't need it, by all means, it's not for you. Not every video I do, not even this one, is for everyone. This was just a discussion about shared tips. Shared tips. What's the good and the bad about it? Or how can we make it work if this is the answer to make more money for you? If it's not the answer to make more money for you, then this is not your conversation. But if this tip pool or shared tips conversation allows you to make more money, why be against it if it allows you to make more money? If it doesn't allow you to make more money, then this conversation is not for you. But not every video that is posted is for everyone. But I definitely appreciate every last one of you that contributed to this conversation, because especially Jay Bones with the opt-in and opt-out, and then Jay Walk with, hey, you're an independent contractor. You make yourself happy. It's not my job to make you happy. You got to make yourself happy. It was really good. It was a really good conversation. Even down to the person, I forgot his name. He had a bit of an accent, and we talked a little bit about the tip skimming, and it was a lot of me trying to figure out. He was like, "Come on, UDM, let's be real." I forgot his name. I apologize if you're still watching. Just let me know what your name was. I apologize. Just put it in the chat or in the comment section down below. But ultimately, it was a great conversation. I love hearing the conversation, hearing the take from everyone. Even those that are in the chat. I didn't put much of the chat on the screen, but I appreciate y'all. Okay. Udo. We got some people in here. We got Bud Soda. What's up, Bud? I didn't even know you was in here. I was so caught up in the conversation. I got to listen to the vets. I don't like the okay, let's see here. Sugar G88 says, I got to listen to the vets. I don't like the shopping. I might try it soon. It's not something that I enjoyed, you know, but hey, now when I see that I can make $40-something for like 13 items, 17 units, and I know the store now, why I ain't gonna knock this out? This is only gonna take me 30 minutes or less. Why I'm not gonna make this $40-something in 30 minutes or less? I'm gonna definitely make this $40-something. Heck yeah, let's get this money, you know? Again, I'll say this last thing and I'll just wrap it up. I'll basically close this. Let's end this. Let's close the lines. Okay, so in the end, you do what's best for you, right? Always do what's best for you. No matter what I say, no matter what any creator on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, no matter what any of us say, you do what's best for you, no matter what. If you got to take $2 offers, I am not taking $2 offers, but if you got to take it, do what's best for you. Just like I said in the video, when it was yesterday, get out my pockets. Focus on your pockets. Even if some might take that as a joke or some might take it like, hey, you know, you talking sugar, honey, iced tea. Nah, just focus on your money. However you got to do it, you do that. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. All right. This was a new system that I'm testing out. I'm glad y'all enjoyed the stream. For those that enjoyed it, right? If you did not enjoy it, it's cool too. Let me know what part of it that you did not enjoy in the comment section down below. And you know, I'll just say thank you for your feedback. I'm not trying to antagonize anyone. I'm not trying to provoke. I'm not trying to do none of that. Just trying to discuss real drivers, real situations, and then we go from there. I want to before I leave though, I got to give some shout outs to everyone that actually came into the stream. We're down to like 50-something people that's watching. So what's up, Vaughn? What's up, Joshua 305? What's up, Charlene? What's up? What's up? Lisa Reinhardt. Hey, I'm going to try that. Thanks. Hey, you do what you got to do. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Prentice Powell. Say what's up in the chat so I can say what's up back to you. How about that? Just say what's up. I haven't given shout outs like this in a minute. What's up, T-Ron? Who else we got? Alaskan Gigs and Guns. What's up? What's up? What's up? Jimmy Denson. I see you. I appreciate y'all for joining the conversation. I'm pretty sure there was a lot more that was discussed in the chat, and I didn't get a chance to actually, you know, put it up on the screen. So you're just gonna skip over? No, I gave you a shout out, Josh. All right, the Driven Dad. What's up, Alexandra A? What's up? What's up? Enjoyed you, brother. All right, Sugar G88. Delivery driver. What's up? What's up? Good show. Throw some slides in. Some slides in next time. Boom, right there. Yeah, I guess I got caught up in the conversation I'll just be honest and I'll say that. I got so caught up in the conversation and how real it was that I kind of like briefly forgot about y'all in the chat. And I'm just keeping it 100. So Prentice Powell, throw some slides in next time. You're right. That's why you get that right there on the screen. You know what I'm saying? 2 cents. 2 cents. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Have a good one. Have a good one. Who else we got in here? I subscribed. I appreciate subscribing. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So since that's about it, fam, y'all be blessed. If you are a night owl, be safe out there. Okay. Be safe. It's crazy out here. People trying to get their money every which way they can. So you gotta make sure that you keep your eyes, your ears wide open, and keep your head on a swivel. All right. If you're home, you had a long day, make sure you get some rest because it's the weekend. We gotta hit it tomorrow. You know, we gotta get this money. So with that said, y'all be safe and enjoyed y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed just as much as I enjoyed. This is my first time testing out the system. And if you did, squeeze the life out the block, set like button, and I'll see y'all in the next video.